interested in Black economics?
Because I believe Black economics is the key to success, one, and I believe it is the key to us creating a new wave. I believe that we as Black people have too many poor spending habits, and we don't know how to save or make our money flip or take our money to the next level. We just know how to spend, and we don't know how to sit on some money just so we can own a business, start a business, invest it, stuff that other people do, and that's why we can never or will never have certain things.
Settled ground, shadowed in Zion, Vernon Mount, our legacies were baptised in fire. Mortar fire rang out over the tribal chants of children, prayers of ancestral African Methodist Episcopalian. My Lord, through these tears, convince me that this hell is not night. This hell is not tonight. That hell is not tonight. Yesterday was just the 30th. A church service did feel a little different, but my Lord, I felt chills hearing that there's a bomb in Gilead. There was fire shot in my bones, and I was convinced you came down from heaven. But now there's whispering that that bomb was a bomb dropped on Archer. Alright. The movie theater is gone. The strap is gone too. Now the only song fitting up enough to be home is Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, coming for to carry me home. Alright. These stories are home to me now. These stories are home to me now. I hear about the stories, graffiti lined concrete for Juneteenth or manifestos. I'll be sure to tell my son about it. The true story about God's providence, His chosen children's prominence, dramatic, acted out in heaven's theater, production 5-star, redemption told as an epic, poetic, accompanied by symphony, somewhat Shakespearean, or Homer's Iliad, standing room only, the audience at angelic, and not even one seat in the mezzanine. Balcony full 2, scene 1, anxiety, curtain drawn to applaud takes place on Guthrie Green. Brady District, ballpark erected, lights on, a Friday night, night owls drink merrily and hoot, none suspecting. The city's only goal is to compete by getting this area popping, none suspecting, none suspecting, none suspecting. Eat here, dance here, spin here, build here, come here, hotel erected, mission simply, fill every street. Reconciliation Park is empty. Orchestra crescendo. None suspected. The images in the statues slowly come to life, and they start breathing. Raggedy suits, tattered dresses, gunshot wounds, third-degree bone burns, women and children carrying their own tombstones. Skin scarred, smiles too. They link arms and enter the street, marching. Modern Hollywood likes to box office these as zombies, but not these. Spirits walk these streets, and area patrons are frozen fear. Not suspecting, not suspecting, not suspecting. But the ones that notice what they fear most has come to life. The truth has been revealed. And it's marching to Zion. From Zion to a lit park in the city's new thriving district. Hundreds of somber, dark but pale faces stare out into a sea of mixed races, mostly white, some brown, some red, some yellow, and they slowly rise, frozen short of breath like a reaction to a phobia, anxiety attack. Then the dead speak. Then the dead speak. Then the dead speak. As the choir does to a congregation, swing low, sweet, sweet chariot. Swing low, sweet, sweet chariot. This will always be Black Wall Street. This will always be Black Wall Street. This will always be. And that's when the living start listening.
Credibility in the field of Black economics?
Not too credible because I haven't really done much, but I do own a business that I want to get off the ground, and I've taken economics classes. I've read on Black economics. I've done certain things, but I'm not too credible yet.
What's the name of your business?
Name of my business is North Star Entertainment. I don't want to get into too many details because it's exclusive. So yeah, pretty much it's North Star Entertainment.
How do you approach black economics?
The way I approach black economics is by investing my money or wanting to invest my money in things that are not tangible.
Author Giovanna incorporates Black Wall Street into Mo's Mixed Queendom, and Monique's great uncle had a booming business that was destroyed in the destruction of Black Wall Street in Greenwood, Tulsa, Oklahoma. What do you think was the importance of including this piece of black history in the novels?
To know, so that black people can know where their history came from, and that we actually were a booming population, and we were just destroyed because the other people, who shall remain nameless, were jealous. You know, they didn't want to see these black people winning. They hated that black people had lawyers, doctors, everything, and that's what we got to get back to. That's the key to changing our future.
Dennis Quaver, former president of Monique's board of directors, has oppressive ideas about minorities and women, yet Monique does not realize his prejudices until after working with him for several years, and after she finds out, she makes a conscious effort to get him booted out of her business. What do you think is the importance of your ethics when it comes to business and your personal beliefs?
I believe it should be a personal thing. Personal things need to stay where personal things need to stay, and business needs to be business. Most people go by, the saying, it's nothing personal, just business, and that's how it should be. You shouldn't let your personal judgment cloud how you handle your business. You shouldn't let your personal hate, your personal belief, whatever you believe in, cloud things that have to do with your business or where you work at or anything like that, because that's just wrong.
Okay, so if somebody said, I'm going to give you $1 million, but their business has not really supported the black community, then where do you stand on that?
It depends on the circumstances. For one, what do I have to do for this $1 million? Why haven't they supported the black community? I probably wouldn't take it because that's just a personal thing. Because if you don't support black people, then I can't really do anything with you, because that's the only people I'm really trying to help.
Why do you think it's important for us to keep reminding people of the Black Wall Streets that existed in America?
So I just got done reading Charlemagne the God's book, Black Privilege, and so it's really controversial, but things like Black Wall Street exist for us. When you have Black Wall Street, you have black privilege. You know what I mean? It's in the same way that we think of white privilege and how, white people just get to do whatever they want. It's not like they just get to do whatever they want. They created a system where that allows them to do whatever they want. And so that's what the beauty of Black Wall Street was. That's the beauty of black spaces, is that when it's black people in our own space and we feel that comfort of each other and the freedom to live and to explore and to journey into ourselves, that, you know what I mean, it just gives us that sense of privilege. It allows us to step up and step out and do the things that we know we really want to do. And so, so especially in this age of like Black Lives Matter and things like that, when we're talking about, we can't get a job here, we can't get a job there, but it's legal for people to discriminate against me because I have locks. It's simple. If I don't want to be discriminated against, I have to look in places where people look like me. And so until we stop fighting to be accepted and choose to accept ourselves, I think we'll forever be in this limbo of this love-hate race battle in America. So.
What do you think hinders black entrepreneurs, and what holds us back as a community from reaching our buying power and our potential?
I had said something, and then somebody had said something else, and it made me change my mind. I cannot remember what it was, but I think I said originality. You said, what is it that's holding us back? Honestly, I think we hold ourselves back. For I think our lack of beliefs in ourselves or even lack of representation in all these different areas. So, for example, that's why like movies like Hidden Figures are cool, because you never really see black women doing math or being engineers and sending people into space. But once a little kid sees that in their mind, it's like, oh, I could do that. So now it's deeper than, being an actress. It's deeper than wanting to sing, wanting to, wanting to rap like we all do, or making clothes. It's about, really looking into yourself and figuring out what do you want to do, and I don't think that we necessarily get that support, or we're influenced enough to be introspective and find out what it is we like about ourselves and what it is we like to do in order to make a real career that's enjoyable, that you can make money off of and things like that. So, yeah, I would say it's kind of us, but it's a mixture of representation and the limitation of a box. I guess that would be it. It's the limitations of a box, for real, and the illusion of a box, making you feel like you have to be in it, you have to be out of it, except for the fact that there is no box and you can do kind of whatever you want. So,
why are you interested in black economics, and what is your credibility in the field of black economics? Then how do you approach black economics?
Wait, damn, slow that down. All right, so the first question.
Okay, the first question. Why are you interested in black economics?
All right, there it is. It's never been, I want to say, emphasized to my family. And I've noticed that majority of people in my family have always been like, work for security. And a while ago I learned that the only things that guarantee security are jobs and maximum prison. And I was like, whoa, those are, when that realization was made to me, and when I learned that, I was like, wait a minute, I don't think I want security, I want freedom. And so I feel like learning about black economics and learning about entrepreneurship in general gives you that financial freedom instead of financial security. And so what I pride myself on is learning different ways to make sure that my money comes straight to me, and that, I know all the channels and I control all the channels in which my money is moving and whatnot. And I think that's important for college students to not only learn, but, embrace, because what happens is that we get so comfortable with just receiving a net check and not learning all the different ways that we can use our net check. And I feel as though that when we learn, our trade, or we learn what it is that we're meant to do on this earth, I think that's going to be one of the main things that, embraces entrepreneurship. But for black economics and specifically, it's really important for, I want to say, every black man and woman to have some knowledge about it. And so I have been doing like marketing / business consultation since I was about 14 or 15 years old. And so it started with a company here in Jacksonville. It's a small company called I Believe in Me, and it's basically a motivational and Christian-based motivational brand which focuses on like athletes, artists, and whatnot. And so when I started helping out my mentor friend Quincy Hart, the CEO, about it, I helped him out with showing him, different approaches he can take towards building his brand, and, like the importance of expanding the boundaries of your brand and not just limiting it to one audience, but having a target audience that can in turn expand your audience. And so from there, I started, performing more often, and then that's around the end of my senior year is when my first chapbook was released. It's called Eldest. And so when that came out, that is more of my, I want to say, like, collegiate project, where, I get my name out there and I promote to other people, and, sometimes I'll go to different places and do readings of my book. And also I work with another clothing line called Rev, Rev Supply Co. And essentially, Rev is Haitian Creole for dream. And the goal of that brand isn't to be focused on one area. We specialize in photography, cinematography. We also obviously sell clothes, but then we have a concentration on the arts, and then also we're gearing more towards educating first-year students on building their own brand and, you know, what it means to have something of your own while you're in college. You know, how that makes you more compatible. Well, not compatible. And how it makes you, I would say, like, more profitable when it comes to approaching different individuals and marketing yourself to other people. And so Rev has actually made a lot of progress within these past 2 semesters at Florida State University, because it was founded in 2015. And so literally within a year and some change, you know, a lot of things have really been moving fast with it. I mean, not only have we started different partnerships with different fraternities on campus, but we're expanding to sororities and other organizations on campus that are sponsored by us, whereas in, like, they pay us to make their shirts and then our name appears somewhere on the shirt. And so, you know, to have that basis of entrepreneurship, you know, as freshmen and already getting our names out there, it's been a lot easier networking with people and, you know, getting ourselves out there and even applying for different events that go on campus. And so when there was a Black Business Expo on campus, Rev was one of the first companies that was recommended to be a part of it, because we don't limit ourselves to just one thing. We allow our interactions with people and the circumstances that we're given to determine, you know, what direction are we going to go in for the day, or what is it that we want to focus on, you know, at that present moment in time. And so for myself, I am launching my own personal brand called the Satellite, or Satellite for short. And essentially what it is, it's my artistic brand where everywhere I go, whether it be to a convention or a conference, I'm always selling merchandise, you know, getting people hip to my goal as an artist. And so essentially the meaning behind the Satellite is that I spell the latter half of the word Light. And essentially why I do that is because the satellite orbits different celestial bodies. However, when it orbits Earth, it sends us information, we send it information, and it's a constant give and receive that occurs every time that it's in motion. And while it's in motion, it never stops sending and receiving information to us. And I feel as though that it's the physical representation of how we're all connected and how we all have to work with one another in order to, I want to say, expand the next person's network, because your network is your network. And so if you don't understand who you're connected to and who you can be connected to, or the ways in which that you can, you know, expand your connection base, then, you know, you limit yourself to expansion. Excuse me. Did that answer all the questions?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Okay.
You pretty much answered everything in that first question. Oh, and also I want to give you some context about the books. So, in the context of Mo's Mix, Monique started her business Mo's Mix at the tender age of 22, and it's been 5 years running in the story. And yet she represents 2 minority classes, being both Black and a woman. And in Mo's Mix, she addresses the plight of women by breaking the sister, mother, wife schema that women must be defined by their relation, like how they're related to someone else, and instead of being defined for themselves. And she has created this booming business for Black hair care to reaffirm that Black hair matters and to encourage Black women to love their hair. So that's just a little bit about the story, so you can kind of understand like where we're going and kind of what the story is about in terms of entrepreneurship. And then the next question is that I incorporate Black Wall Street into Mosmick's Queendom because Monique's great uncle had a booming business, but it was destroyed in the destruction of Black Wall Street. And I just wonder, what was the importance of including this piece of Black history into the story?
Well, I mean, shoot, it's essential to, one, know where you've been, in order to understand the possibilities of where you can go. And so I think to have, some historical context like that, not only does it, I want to say, put everything into perspective, but it, I want to say, physicalizes and but also makes the character feel more real. Because I want to say, had it not been included, then it wouldn't have had such an impact on the reader. And so having something like that, it makes the reader feel go that, oh, well, if this person is related to greatness, or if this person, has someone that witnessed such an impactful period in time, then there must be some way to recreate it and continue to push forth what was put in ruin, and rather revive what was in ruins and then make it, in the present time.
Okay. And then the next question is, okay, so Dennis Quaver is the former president of Monique's board of directors, and he has oppressive ideas about minorities and women, but Monique doesn't realize this man's prejudices until after she's worked with him for several years. And then when she realizes who he is, she decides that she doesn't want him to be associated with her business. So I wonder, do you think that this was necessary, and should Black entrepreneurs prioritize principle or profit? So in other words, how much emphasis should you put on your personal beliefs when it comes to your business?
You should put all of your personal beliefs into your business, because, the thing is that you have a want that addresses a need. And if a transaction or if a exchange that goes against what you believe, then the person that you are exchanging with doesn't deserve your product at that moment. Because you never know if someone may have a change of heart. However, you shouldn't go against your morals because of a transaction or because of what someone may offer you, because you always have to remind yourself what the worth of your product is and how much you had to put into it in order to get out what you've got out of it. And so it's essential for entrepreneurs to know that the ideas and the creations that they craft are always going to be a part of their morals. And so if something goes against that, then you stand firm in them. Because it's best, to stand firm in what you believe in and then lose out on one deal than to be a yes person and then get everything but then not feel satisfied. Because it's nice to make profit, but unless if you're actually enriching people's lives, unless you're actually building long-lasting relationships, then there's no reason for you to be in business in general. Because if you can't say no to something that goes against what you believe, then you'll say yes to everything that will financially benefit you. And sometimes financial benefit isn't always the greatest benefit. Sometimes it's just that one person that just that really makes you feel better about what it is that you're doing. Maybe it's that one person that you ask for they pay a specific amount, but then they give you extra because of how you made them feel. And so I feel as though that you shouldn't ever go against your morals, because the money or the raise or the jump that you want to make is going to happen. However, you have to give it time. And everything comes within its specific place and within its certain era. So I don't think that you should go against your morals for business at all.
Okay, and then the last question that I want you to answer for entrepreneurship is, what do you feel is are some barriers to entry that African Americans face when trying to start businesses?
I think one of the barriers is a financial barrier. Because there's some young entrepreneurs that want to start themselves or, initiate something. However, they may not have the funds at the moment in order to do it. I think that if there's expansion of resources about the knowledge of free money for minority entrepreneurs in order to start their businesses, then I feel as though that, the barrier, that main barrier of access is going to be knocked down. Because, otherwise, unless if the individual has an idea, but then they just haven't initiated it, then there's a difference and whatnot. Because I feel as though that the only two barriers that come with business are, money and yourself. And so if you don't commit yourself to it, then, you're just not built for it at that moment. However, if you don't have the financial means in order to start what it is you want to start, then it's going to take a little bit more groundwork in order for you to get started with what it is that you want to do. And then sometimes there are signs that tell you, this may not be the time for you to do something. Or you may have to wait a little bit in order for a certain opportunity to appear in order for you to be ready for that opportunity. And I know that for myself, I started doing poetry in 7th grade, and when I started, I didn't know that I had that I was already branding myself. However, I couldn't pinpoint an item or an idea that fit me, and I didn't create it until it was my first year in college. And I think that knowing that things come with time, but to continue to press on what it is that you pursue and you aspire to do, I feel as though that the barriers will come down, and it's just a matter of communicating what is your purpose, what is your purpose, and why you're doing things to the right people, because you never know who someone may know in order for you to get where you want to go.
Okay, that's good. I really like those answers. And then, the thing about poetry, I think I started. I think I probably started in 8th grade too. So it's I understand that. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. It's been 6 years, I think. Actually, no, I think it's been 7. Yeah, so it's just I understand that, and it's just you kind of cause I know at my school they're just oh, we need poets, and then they kind of search out for me. So it's kind of you kind of have to brand yourself, and you have to show people this is who I am, and this is what I do, and these are my talents. So that was just a comment on that.
My mother told us to get up under the bed, and we got up under the bed. We could just see just their feet. they came in and set fire to the curtains. And one stepped on my fingers, and my sister put her hand over my mouth to be sure to stop me, because she could tell I was fixing to holler because it hurt.
Monroe escaped with some sore fingers. His home and the rest of Tulsa's black neighborhood, called Greenwood, was burning. Before the riot, 10,000 blacks lived in Greenwood, did business there, prospered there. In fact, Greenwood was one of the nation's most vibrant black communities. But children quickly learned that they lived in a different world from whites.
The tracks was a dividing line. Now, every Sunday, we would climb on top of the coal car and throw enough coal on the side of, on our side, and I guess they did the same thing, but every Sunday we had a good coal fight. We would throw at them and they would throw at us.
Like a kid's little riot?
That's a good description of it, like a kid's riot. That's right.
The kids, of course, learned from the adults.
There was total segregation, wasn't there?
Oh, that was the wonder of it all. After Oklahoma became a state, the first law passed by the Oklahoma legislature was Senate Bill 1 that completely segregated the state.